Hello everyone, Ceri the Crafter here, that's C-E-R-I the Crafter, and we're here with Jelly Plate Play again. Now, this one's going to be slightly different. We are not making backgrounds. What we're going to do is we're going to complete backgrounds. We've been doing lots of backgrounds for quite a while now, and besides that, I've been doing backgrounds as well, and there's always some backgrounds that just don't make the grade, and they go into the box of, I need to take a look at those in the future. Well, the box is getting quite full. And I thought, right, what we need to do is let's see if I can finish off some of these. And let me just show you what we're talking about. So this interesting texture, it's lacking something. Again, love that, but it needs a something. This one, I'm very tempted to say it's done. But I do think maybe a bit of black somewhere on there would work. This one, again, almost done, but maybe it needs a punch of something. So you can see what I'm talking about here. So This is our aim for today, is to take some of these, like that one to me just needs a touch of white. Anyway, you will see them as we go along. I don't want to waste our timer, which I need to turn on in a second, and I don't want to waste that time actually just looking at stuff. I will actually get in and just do things. So let's turn the old timer on for an hour. Get ourselves started. Now what I've done is I've emptied the entire contents of my jelly plate drawer onto the table beside me, and that's where we're going to work from. So, right, let's pull the first one off the pile. That's darn purple. So if I look at my colour wheel, because I'm going to use the colour wheel a lot in this, the opposite to it is lime green or yellow, or basically within this genre, I'm liking more this colour range, and I've got quite a few of those sort of colours within my palette. I mean, I've got a nice yellow. I know I've got a green. I could always use black, but there's black in there, and I can always use white. So let's put that to one side and think about what I want to do, how I want to do it, and what I want on here for a start. Now the question is, do I want to put stuff down and stamp it across, or do I want to do a background and actually stencil onto the background and then lift this off? And I think that's what I want to do. So I'm going to grab a stencil or two, so I'm going to pull some across, so bear with me. I do have a couple of stencils here that I've never used, and I'm thinking, right, I might like to use them. Quite like that one. That appeals to me for this. And I think I'm only going to use the one stencil on there. I wonder, could I get that in the corner? I could probably get that in the corner. Maybe not. Maybe I'd struggle getting that in the corner. So, but would I get something like that that's just off the edge there? Maybe I can put a border of those along the bottom. Okay, you've seen a lot of these before, guys. You know what they are. They're a set of stencils that I purchased. Right, and then I might leave that blank, which will be interesting. Okay. I'm also going to try, if I use a stencil, to not use the stencil twice. So, right, with that in mind, now let me have a quick look at these. See, the trouble is on some paints you can see they've got a little symbol on them that says transparent, semi-transparent or opaque. This kind doesn't. So I'm going to come in, I'll take that off there. I also have a couple of sheets of labels, by the way, as I always do, just to clean my brayer off on. So let's put that up by there. I did like that in that corner. Don't ask me why, I just like that up in that corner. To make sure it's kind of adhered to the plate. Because the plates are sticky, it's likely to grip, so I won't get stuff going underneath it. These, I believe, are 6x6, these stencils. So even with my meagre math ability, that means that I can cover the whole plate. Although for some reason I can't cover the whole plate in this one. Maybe I've stretched the plate slightly when I put it down. But there's nothing that can't be fixed, let's put it that way. Let's just, maybe a bit of washi down there. Just grab washi. I like washi, I use washi all the time. It's not a high tack tape, so it's not going to stick to my jelly plate and actually cause me a problem. So that's another thing worth mentioning here. So I've put that down. Try and work out how to do this without covering up stuff. So that can go up there as far as Oh, God, it must be a bad day if I can't tear a piece of washi. Yep, Ceri gets weak. Let's strip that down a bit, just so that it goes in between. I don't want to block off any of the peaks of the design. Right, let's leave the washi here just in case I need it for the future. I need to cover that area as well. So let's just take one of my pieces of surplus. This is the stuff I normally brayer off on. So what I've done effectively is I've masked all of the areas I don't want my paint to go onto. I'm going to start with the yellow, and then what I'm going to do is I might do patches of yellow and patches of green and try to blend them on here. You don't need a lot of paint for this bit, guys. In fact, that's probably something I say way often, but it's true. You don't need a lot of paint. Now, looking at the way this yellow is going on, I would say this yellow is probably transparent or semi-transparent, just because it's looking that clean on there. Not clean, clear on there. But it depends. I mean, it depends on the paints. As I said, sometimes you'll find there's actually coding on, I find it more on tubes of paint than I do on bottles of paint, which tell you whether they're transparent, semi-transparent or opaque. And as I've said before, I quite like the semi-transparent stuff. I'll put a little bit of this green on here. I'm not sure whether the green is too close to the yellow, to be honest, but we'll see. It may just give that subtle variety. I'm going to work quite quickly so that when I take this off, I'm going to immediately put the purple one on there. I don't want it to dry out, because if it dries out and then I have to put another layer of paint over the top to actually lift it off, then I'm going to change the colour of the background, and I really like the colour of the background. Right, let's just work with a bit of urgency, should we say. Just get that all off there. I don't care where they go. And let's come in with this. I like this being empty to go there. Right, it's on there. Okay, once it's on there, I can breathe. I can give it a bit of a burnish, and I can deal with everything I just dumped over here. Now, just as a tester, if you've got thin layers of paint, it very rarely comes off when you mop it off. So I'm just going to take the tape off these, and as I said, I want to make sure that I don't duplicate the backgrounds. So I'm going to put these on the floor in the corner away from me, so I can't use those ones again. I'm letting that cook, as I like to call it. I'm going to use a bit of this that's on here and put it onto my label sheets. Yeah, maybe I'll make a couple of sheets of labels and mail them out. Maybe it's a happy mail or something. That'd be a nice surprise for someone. Well, hopefully it would be a nice surprise for someone. Right, now if I've done this correctly, this should pretty much be this background finished. Okay, it didn't happen to be as bright as I wanted it to be, but I actually quite like it. I would like to have seen some more of the white in here, and I've got a feeling, I know there's more on there, but I know that, I don't really want to put that there. Let's move that up. I've actually got this impression thing, obviously, because I made it. And I think it's possibly this one. So I'm going to put a bit of white on here, and I'm just going to stamp randomly. And I say the word stamp because it's the action of transferring from one to the other. And I'm just going to put a really couple of little squares on here, just because I think that's what this needs. Now, I can't tell you what I'm doing. I don't know whether it's right or it's wrong. I'm going with my gut instinct here, guys. As I always do with my artwork. So you can see now, you can hardly see them, but they are definitely there. See, they're just, I just want some down by here. And this is why my messy mat is messy. Because, of course, I do stuff that goes right off the edges. Quite like to put a square in there if I can get another pull of a square. There you go, happy with that. Right, I'm going to call that one done. I think that's interesting. I think it would go really nicely. If anything, I wish I'd have done gold instead of yellow. but I'm not worried about that. That's fine. Let's leave that as it is. That's number one done. Right, let's put this away because I said I wasn't using something twice. Now I do know on here, because I can see it, that I've got slight bits of yellow. So I'm going to have a look through these. That's very bright, isn't it? And see if there's something. That could probably be the next one. This one is so close to being done. I'm not sure why I haven't done it so far. A quick flick and see if there's anything that would benefit from a really pale touch. Actually, that might be the one, because I've already got white on here. Maybe this would add a bit of yellow to this one. Let's have a look. I'm unsure. Maybe we'll do this one next. So I'm going to take what white I've got here and give this a really thin coat. And what this will do, because you've seen me do this a lot now, is this will reactivate the paint on the jelly plate, and it means that it will, in theory, lift off onto this one. Now I think this is going to take more than just this to make this one work, but it will be one step closer. So give this a bit of a clean up, and then we'll have a look and see what else we can do. Maybe we'll go with that multicoloured one I just looked at now. That didn't pull anything off. Okay, so I didn't put enough down there. So maybe I need to actually go darker. I mean darker with what's on here. So right, this has got, I can see blues, I can see magentas, I can see royal blue, I can see green. Let's pull a bit of magenta into this. Have I got magenta? I do have magenta, right. Let's put a thin layer of magenta on here to see if I can activate. I need a damp cloth there to see if I can activate this to pull this off. I mean, I do need enough to have paint on here, so I'm not sure I've got enough paint there, to be honest. There you go, let's pull that one in. So this is what happens, guys. When you're doing this, you'll always have ones where your gut feeling is going, it just needs something, but you don't actually know what that something is. And if you're like me, the best way to do it is to put it in a box or a container or something out of your sight, and then come back to it at another point. And when you come back to it, you may go, ooh, and you're in a different mood, you're in a different frame of mind, you're using different paint colours maybe, you've got maybe a new stencil or something you go, I just want to add, and that's when it happens. That's when you end up with a really nice print of some sort. I'm just going to take some of that off and add that to one of my label sheets. Right, let's see whether I've managed to be able to get all of that off. I still haven't got all of it. Okay, I've made that even muddier, so I'm going to leave that be, and we're going to look at what I want to do on the next one. Okay, this one here, I actually think I want to add some gold. Sorry, having a thoughtful moment. Now, there's already circles on there, there's already lines on there. I think I'm going to leave that one a second. I'm not feeling that. This one again, this to me is just, it's lovely, but I think I need white. So we'll just lay that on there. I think I'm going to pour some white in, and I think I'm going to find something that I can actually just transfer across. Now the thing is, there are diamonds on there, and I'm wondering whether I use the diamonds again to pull this. Maybe we will. Okay, now is white the right choice is the question. I think white is the right choice. I think I want to do a whole plate of white, because I've got a feeling I might like to do white diamonds on that purple one as well. I'm unsure. Yes, I know I'm already saying I'm going to do on two of them, and I've said I was going to use a product once, but you know what? My art, my rules. My art, my way. Your art, your way. I just think that maybe they both need something as simple as just some white diamonds on them. So I'm going to pull the piece over to this small table over here, so that it's just easier for me to do the transfer onto, because otherwise you're going to have my shoulder under the camera. I lift it off there. Let's hope I've got enough paint that it'll come off. Not really. Right. There isn't a repeating pattern here, so I'm just basically taking this off. Okay, I didn't have enough paint on there. However, what I am going to do, because this is quite a dense, I think more dense than that. And by dense I mean more blocky in colour. That's relatively dark. Actually, that might be the one because it's got diamonds in it. No, we're going to go with this one. Right, let's see if I can pull anything off. I've been talking quite a while, so I do not expect a full pull from this one, which might work in our favour because I might be able to get a ghost print on another one. So let's pull this off. Okay, I like the subtlety of it. I'm sad I've lost the background, but I like the subtlety of it. In that case, if it's going to do that to it, let's see if I can turn this one as well. So hopefully you're all doing well. Hopefully the weather's treating you well. We've got a beautiful day here. Although that doesn't last very long in Wales. Actually, that's kind of okay with me. I'm going to call that done. I'm okay with that. Yep, definitely like that one. So that's 2 done and dusted. Right, I know I've got stuff on here. I think I'd quite like to lift it onto this one, but I need to decide on the background paint. The other one I've just pulled off. I do think that needs a something. Wonder whether I can get any more off just by doing a ghost print. I would be shocked if I get stuff off on this one. Give it quite a burnish because I think the paint's dry. There you go. See if I got anything come off this at all. No, I didn't think I would. Okay. So I do need to have something to lift that off with. Now, I'm going to let this one sit a bit because I'm unsure. This is the bit where, this is the one that I was like, it didn't work. I didn't like it. So I think we need to do something really dramatic at this point. And I think I'm going to put some purple on there. Let's see if I can find violet purple. Okay, I'm going to change that one completely into something different again. And that's what it is. I mean, that's the joy of doing what we're doing. We can change it, we can use it, we can manipulate it. And if you absolutely hate it, just start all over again. Just put a completely different colour on there. Now, I'm hoping this doesn't pull all of this off. I'm hoping it just pulls off sections of this because I didn't really want the diamonds all over this, but I'm quite willing to have diamonds on part of it. If it goes all over it, then it goes all over it. Oh, and that's not the straightest alignment at all. I'm not going to burnish it too much. This just does not like it, does it? Well, it's on there. I can see it on there. Right, let's pull this one in just for hits and giggles. Okay, see whether I can pull anything off. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just too warm when I'm doing the paint too thinly today. You will find that if you live in a hot climate, you will find that your paint will dry really quickly on your mat, on your plate, and you'll struggle to get it off and you have to put a thicker layer each time. For those of you in humid countries, which is normally me, you won't have that issue. You'll have the other issue of having to wait for drying times. Okay, that did come out. This isn't finished, but it's subtle and I'm not hating that. Right, this, I'm just going to run bits around the edge of this. Just because I have a feeling I want to. I couldn't tell you why. I've just kind of just using my gut instinct on this, trying to put a bit of purple around the edge of this. So it's almost vignetted, if that's such a word. I'm going to come in, I'm going to drop my existing jelly plate on there just to, so anything to lift off, can lift off. I need to wash these jelly plates at one point, I think. I've got quite a bit of gunk building up on them. Right. So if I was this jelly plate, which I am at this moment in time, I think I want gold on that. Gold is appealing to me. Have I got gold on there? No, I don't think that's gold on there. So I'm going to pull in some gold. I could pull in bronze. Actually, pull in bronze. Bronze would be interesting. I'm sure this is bronze. No, it's champagne. What does champagne look like? Actually, it's okay. I don't think it's not gonna wow anyone. Let's put it that way. I keep losing the gold paint. Oh, there it is. But I do think the gold is going to work on here, and I need to work out what I'm going to make gold on there. Sorry, tapping fingers again, I know. Right, we know I love the numbers, and want the numbers the right way round, you need to put them the wrong way round. So I'm going to put numbers up by there. So that's stuck on the plate there. I might actually mask off this because I don't want these bits. So I'll just put that across there to remind myself that I don't want those bits. And I might just use a bit of sticky tape, sorry, washi tape, to hold that in place so that I don't forget. So anything you want the right way round, numbers or lettering wise, needs to go backwards. What is that stuck in there? So I'm just trying to make sure I'm not digging anything into my jelly print plate. That sharp bit of stencil had just bent down. Right. I put that there actually. Right. So I'm just building. I'm building a stencil as I go almost. It's going to be a bit tricky taking this off, but we're not taking it off too quickly this time, I don't think. We'll just be taking it off in our own time. So just hold that down there. Turn that around, don't care about that there. That's over there, Griffiths. That's not, oh wait, it doesn't matter because that's not being printed anyway. And I've just got this bit down here, which I keep pulling this piece in, and maybe it would work there this time. Yes, maybe it'll work there. That's to a little bit of washi tape so that doesn't move either. There's lots of things on here that could go wrong, guys. And we're hoping not. Actually, I can see there's a bit of a gap. And I don't really want the paint going through anywhere other than I'm controlling it to go through. I'm going to go down here. Right, as I've covered most of my expanse here, it's going to be tricky to roll out here. So I think I'm going to roll out directly on here. I might use this piece, or let's see where I go with this. Let's see if I can put pieces of gold on the areas where I'm not going to squish it through immediately. I might have to add some more onto that. I just want to get a nice coating on this one. There's quite a bit of gold on here. I might have to do a bit of a pull with a bit of tissue maybe to take some of this back off, because I can see it's all mounding up in. Now let's see if I can just, so I'm just going to do something really random. I'm just going to do a bit of a pull on this one just to, this is one of the ones that isn't working, so, well, it isn't working yet because I haven't worked at it. Just pull that off there. So see, I've got a little bit of that in there. That's fine. I just didn't want this to be hugely ridged. Right, so we've got gold on here. Not sure how much is going to go on to this little area here. Right. Now, trick will be lift all of this off. Again, if I've used it, I'm going to try not to use it again. You can see I've already altered my own rule, haven't you? I'm going to try not to use it again. So I can't say that's going to work for the numbers though, because I use the numbers a lot. And pull this bit off here. Like that may be able to be stamped onto something, so I'm going to have a little look and see if I can pick that up with something somewhere. I'm running out of room. No matter how much room you have as a craft room, you never have enough room as a craft room. Right, I'm just going to lift this off, and there's one behind me on a chair that I'm just going to come around and just press it on the edge of and see if I can get any of that off onto it. I did. It was just a little bit down the edge there. So right, the numbers may be used again, as I said. Okay, I'm not sure I'm going to get a pull off this because these are probably dry, but I'm certainly going to try. Okay, give this a bit of a burnish. And if it doesn't come off, that's fine, we'll just use it on another one. I'm hoping it comes off. I think that would finish this one off. Yes, it did. And actually, I'm okay with that. I think I'm calling that one done. I am. That's another one done. Right, we've still got stuff on here, which is wonderful. Got stuff on here and it's probably dry, so I do need to just wipe this off with a damp cloth. I try never to waste paint, but there's a point at which you just can't rescue it when you're doing some processes. And if you've got to move quickly and your plate doesn't get cleaned, then your plate doesn't get cleaned. So, right, let's have a look and see if there's a relatively pale background amongst the ones that have not made the grade. So, not that one. Oh, that might work. And there's two of those. Okay, let's go for the lightest of the two. Let's do that one. Right. Not sure that the gold is going to show up on this, so I'm going to go out on a limb here, guys. Remember, we've got pink around the edge here as well. I'm going to use this colour. Don't ask me, I do not know. I have no idea why I've chosen that colour. I just have. Let's put it to one side so I can get to it relatively quickly. I just, as I've said before, seat of the pants, thinking with my gut, I don't know. It just feels like the right colour to reach for. So, and as it's only paper and paint and time, I can do what I want, really. If it doesn't come off the first time, that's fine, because we've always got the other sheet. Oh, I don't know where I put the other sheet this time. So, let's just pull this over the top. I'm going to put this darker bit at the bottom because I know there's not a lot at the bottom of this. And I'm going to go in and give that a bit of a burnish. I always use my hand, and I don't mind if I get paint on the back of the page. I have seen some people, because they want to keep the back of their printing pristine, they will put a bit of paper over the back again and then rub it down. So there are options. I've just never worried about the back. I mean, I just don't worry about the back. Right, let's see whether I've got anything off this. I don't think I did. But I did make that into something pretty. Okay, right. I've got my second one. I'm not sure. If it didn't pull off on the first one, I'm not sure it's going to pull off on the second one. We may have to go in and add a little more paint to this one to pull it off. But willing to have a go, as always. Experimentation is the key to this. See what works, see what doesn't, and remember what works. Okay. Okay, a bit more came off on this. And actually, I really like that. It's subtle. I think it needs a fraction more something, and I think this is too light for it. I really think this is probably the colour that I need to go with. So I think I might try and put something down on there. Actually, you know what? I might just do... Where are they? Do you remember these things? Carved blocks. I think if I put a row of them along there, that might just be what I'm looking for. I believe these are actually made for fabric stamping. I think, I want to, and I could be wrong, guys, could so be wrong. I want to say they're almost like an Indian thing. And that could be because of the nature of the imagery they've used. And I don't mind going off. I think that looks quite cute. I think I'd like something up there. Don't really know what, so let's just roll that out a second. Right, let's use this. Okay, this is for cake decorating. Never used this one before. It's another one of those that's in the bottom of my drawer. It's a texture mat made out of plastic. Let's see if I can transfer any of this image across without it being too blurry or smudged. It's interesting. Am I loving it? Maybe not. I don't mind it on here though. It's just, would I use it again? Don't think so. It's just a little bit fiddly to use, a bit fiddly to hold. And I'm afraid I'm going to get fingerprints on things, but I think that's this one done. I'm having a gut feeling about this. I think this one may be done. I like the subtlety of that. And there is a time and a place for subtlety, because if I was using this in a journal, I'd need writing space. So we're going to call that one done. Right, I've got this, so let's put some of this on this plate. I'm just using this as a cleanup now. I'm not intending to lift that completely. I might lift it over the top of something else if the mood takes me. But there you go, I'm just going to leave that on there. And I'm going to take my bit of cleanup card and just clean my small one off. So I normally find I get the best results when I'm trying to rescue or complete pieces by using contrasting colours, which really bring it to the fore. I've also found that if I use things like white or black, it really adds drama to stuff. So just know that that's kind of where my thinking goes. Right, let's have another look at one of the others. Right, let's have a re-look at this. I think it's fine. I think it needs black. It's a really busy thingy. It's either black or purple actually. Could put dark purple on here. I wouldn't put blue. I wouldn't put red. See, red would clash. I don't want a clash. I want it to look right. Purple. I know what we can do. Right, sorry, just had a bit of an outer body there moment. Let's just put some of this purple down. And if you remember a while ago, we did mark making, and I had that ice cube tray. Well, I've just spotted that on my table of stuff I'm supposed to be using, and I think that might bring this to the fore. So I'm just going to press. This was just in a dollar store or a pound store. I'm going to get a reasonable amount on there. I'm going to come in, sit it down and give it a bit of a press, because if I remember right, as you do that, it gives you circles with holes. There you go, it does give you circles with holes. Right. I'll just do a little bit off the corner here. Right, is it finished? Possibly not, but it's getting there. Right, I've got purple all over the place. Let's just put that one there. I've got this piece here that we've just done, where actually purple might be a nice thing to add to this. So I'm going to try and get a whole row of these down the side. Just drop it down and give it a press. Yes, I'm liking that. I think I just want a group of 6 down here. I never know why I'm doing what I'm doing, guys. I'm just doing. And I think maybe that there. Yeah, don't know why I did that, but I like that. Right, I think we're done with this. This will go back into the pile of being worked. Having a quick look through these and see if there's anything here that needs a touch of something. This has never worked for me, this one. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to lift sections of the purple off and see whether I can just make this a little more wow, a little more interesting. Just with touches of this. Already it's getting a little more interesting for me. I'm going to leave this one kind of be, and it'll be one that we build on. I mean, I'm already liking the drama of that colour anyway, so I'm going to let that be and work away for that. Right, so we've got this on here. I've got ink on, paint on this brayer. I'm just going to clean the brayer off on that section. Don't ask me why I'm doing it, I'm just clearing that out of the way. So, right, let's have a look at another one. Liking the orange. If I've got orange, I probably need something like a dark brown or something to make this pop. And I think I want to do something that's going to make marks on this. Okay, let's use this. Okay, this was the end of, we bought some new curtain rods for our living room, and this was holding the curtain rods in place, as was this. It was either end of the curtain rod. So I might use this to put some detail on there. And let's use that colour and then possibly use some brown or black on it afterwards. I'm not looking for a lot, I just want a bit. So, because this one's very near it. As far as I'm concerned, this piece is almost at the point where it's ready. So I'm just moving that round and see whether I can just print in an interesting something. Now I like to put things in 3s, but that's just me. It doesn't need to be. I mean, that's just, you have to find what pleases you, let's put it that way. I like that, and I quite like what that did to that. I think I'm going to move this one to one side a second, because I know I've got an orangey one here, and I've got stuff on the plate here, so why not use the square? Maybe the paint's dry. Oh, wait, I've got some on the brayer, haven't I? So it's very faint, but again, it's a bit of visual detail in the background. Yeah, that was nicer. If you're using a product like foam or cardboard or fun foam or anything like that, you're going to find the first couple of times you use it, it's not going to work as well as you hoped because it's a porous surface. But as you use it more and more, you're going to find that the paint itself will add a seal to it, and then it will transfer acrylics better. Right, so we've added something to that. I'm not upset by that. That's okay. I've added something to that. Let's bring this one back in. Let's put this to one side. Right, let's take this paint and add it to this one. As you can see, I've got to the point where I'm just putting stuff on here. It could be at the end of this session, I just get a brand new piece of paper and just pull whatever is left on here in one foul swoop, because I don't know what we're going to have. We could have the remnants of so many other things, and it may be really nice to see. So just clean off this a bit to give me a bit of a clean up. Right, so I did say I thought it could potentially be black on here, or a darker brown. It does need something, definitely needs something. I'm wondering, I'm saying dark brown and I'm wondering whether actually this colour is the colour I should be looking for. It's like, is this Tuscan red? Tuscan red. It's not really the colour I was thinking, but I think a few circles on here would really liven this up. And what I'm doing is I've got, oh, found that as well. I'm using some found items in the tubes of things and a cap. And I think I'm going to do a few of those across here. Again, not a huge amount of paint. I don't want to be getting carried away with doing circles all over the place. So, and I do find that if I turn the piece I'm working on, I end up not putting the circles in the same position all the time, or any elements of adding, because it's very easy to just think, oh, it's going to be used in this orientation. It may not be used in that orientation. This is just a cap off a bottle, by the way. I'm still not sure whether this might need a hint of black. It's kind of telling me that it needs black. I don't know why I've suddenly focused on getting the circle around the inner circle of those, but it's working for me, people. It's working for me. I think what I want to do is, if I'm going to do the smaller circles, which I feel I'm going to, I'm going to actually do those in black. So let's put this to one side again. Let's pull the jelly plate in. Let's give the jelly plate a bit of a turn. Maybe that'll change the way it feels as well. Just going to come in and clean off the brayer on here. Who knows what we're going to end up with? I really do not know. That's building up there. Let's take some of that and put it onto one of our label sheets for the future. I'm not sure whether you've seen the video, but I never put a sheet of labels onto the jelly plate, because as you lift them off, they'll all come off and they'll stick to the jelly plate. And I think possibly it was either the second or third video I did exactly what I've just told you not to do. And guess what? All the labels came off and stuck to the jelly plate. So just putting a little bit of black on here. Again, just smoothing out so it's not a huge build up. Take my circle making thing. Yeah, I do think black was the right decision. It's turning into being a sort of geometric type design. And actually I like the black so much, I'm wondering whether I want to put some small pieces of bubble wrap into this. I have a feeling it's going to take me weeks to clean up this mess. Okay, something else I like to do is if I get a cup and I actually hold the bubble wrap tightly around it, then when I actually come in to stamp, I end up with circles of bubble wrap. Okay, that's another interesting thing that you can add using bubble wrap, because we're all used to using bubble wrap and just laying it down. But if you wrap it around another shape, and it doesn't have to be a circle, but I think that works. Right, as I've got some black there, let's see if I can actually transfer some onto this other orange one. I'm not sure I will be able to, because, yeah, let's see if I just use a bubble wrap as I normally do to try and capture the last of this on there. Just a little tiny bit is still left on there. So I'm hoping you guys by this point are actually exploring your own jelly printing, or I mean, if you're not, that's fine. If you're just enjoying sitting down watching, I'm happy with that as well. I mean, as long as you're enjoying what you're doing, that's the important thing as far as I'm concerned. So right, that one needs to go back. This one, I think we're going to call it done. If I keep adding to that, it's going to become an absolute mess, and there's a point at which you need to stop. Right. We don't need the cup anymore. We might use it for circles later on. I think my jelly plate needs a really good clean. Maybe I'll just clean a little bit of off on here. Yeah, that's going to be quite a dark jelly print, so I'm going to have to make sure that when I do print off it, that I actually print the background really light or really dramatic, like do a red pull to have all of the other colours on the other side of it. Right, so we said we were not going to repeat using things, so those can go. Right, I've lost track of where I am. Okay, this one, I keep looking at this thinking it feels done. And I think these pieces of black were just enough to make it done. I can't think I want to add any other colour to this because green doesn't feel right. The one colour I did want to add was a dark brown. Maybe it does need a bit of dark brown. I'm wondering whether a piece of that in brown would work. Indecision, guys. Right, I think if I lay that on there, because I'm going to need some way to transfer it from here to there, because that jelly plate is in use. So I'm going to put a bit of brown. I'm just putting the brown on a piece of the cleanup card over here, guys, just because I've run out of jelly plate. Well, I haven't. They're all in the drawer, but I'm not pulling a new jelly plate out just to do one piece. So I'm just going to come through here and do this. Now this is a Tim Holtz stencil, which I'm sure you recognise, and it is one of my favourites, so happy about that. Take that off there, and I'm not expecting it to have everything on it. I'm going to wipe off the sides so that I don't transfer the edges over. And I'm going to come in and see if I can just lift that off there. Yeah, that Tim Holtz stencil, and I have no idea what it's called. I only know it's Tim Holtz now because I know it's got Tim Holtz in it, but I don't even know the number. It's just so covered in paint that I'll show you how much I use it. Okay, I got a bit of that off. What I'm thinking is I need to add a little bit of something to that to pull it off with, and I'm thinking this is actually, that's probably too light. I think this one, and I'll try and put it into another corner. Not sure this is going to work, but we're going to try. There's nothing going to hurt me. It's only paper, paint and time. And how are we doing for time? We've got another 10 minutes, we're fine. That's if I abide by my own rules. Why are you not coming off that plate? Sometimes because I'm not an expert, I've never claimed to be an expert, I'm just someone who likes doing this, and I have a go, and there may be a reason why things don't work, I'm just not aware of them. Okay, I have no idea why it didn't come off there. It did a little bit. Maybe I didn't put a thick enough coat on. Right, let's try that again. I'm honour bound to have a go, and this time I'll put it down to one side, then it's not going to be a problem, I think. And this time I'm going to go black. Yay, go for the black, Ceri, go for the black. but not a thick coating of black. Maybe a bit thicker coating of black than that though, because I can hardly see that. Thing is, where on this page do I want this to be? Let's have a think while I'm doing that. This bit here looks like it could do with something. So let's take that off of there. Right, I can truly see that there. Clean that edge off there. Come in here. Align that there. And if this works, I'll probably do another piece of this on the same one, or else it will just look like Billy No Mates in the corner. Okay, that was fine. I'm okay with that. I'm going to see if I can line this up with what I did before, which is about there. Oh, okay, well that moved all over the place. I'm not sure I'm going to get anything off this one, but I am going to give it a bit of a try. Oh, I must remember I've got that big Mandela. Okay, that's fun. I think we're going to call that done, guys. I think that one's interesting. I don't want to go overboard. This slightly bothers me in the middle. I wonder whether I can do something about that. Okay, I've got a little bit off there. That's fine. I've sort of disguised that slightly. Right, this needs to go to one side. This one is considered done. I think this piece of scrap paper needs to actually be scrap paper now and gone, because otherwise it's going to cause me a problem. I think we're at the point where I need to pull this because I want to use that plate again. So bear with me, I just need to go and get a piece of paper. Actually, I've got a bit of paper here, but I'll just use this one because I'm not sure what this is going to look like anyway. So, right, I think I need to do something light in the background, as I've said, or I'm going to end up with nothing. I could go green. I'll go this. This is really quite a bright colour. So let's use that because the vibrancy of that may come straight through then. And I don't want a thick covering. I just want enough to be able to lift this off. This is the mystery moment, guys. I have no idea what this is going to look like. It could be that this just becomes another piece that gets added to the other pile of cleanup stuff. There's that piece of paper gone. Let's see what this offers us. Give it a bit of a burnish, bit of a time to cook. Am I in shot? I'm not in shot as I'd like to be, apparently. And this has moved. So I use this smaller jelly plate to actually help me align stuff in screen, because when I look through this iPad, I can only see to about here, whereas you can see further. So let's see what this has offered us. Oh, I've ended up tearing the paper. Okay, that's interesting. It's so not what I would normally pull off as a print. I'm going to need to wipe that. Probably use that for collage, to be honest. It's a nice look, but it's not what I'm looking for. But I'll put that in the collage pile. Right, this I think needs a bit of a spritz and a clean. I don't normally clean my plate, but I've got to the point where I want to do some other stuff on it, and I think if I don't give it a bit of a housekeeping moment, then I'm going to have a problem. I'm going to find that all of my other colours are going to be really not very nice. So you can use a wet wipe. I've actually heard someone say you can use sanitizing hand gel. I don't think I would want to do that, because I'm not sure, because there's usually alcohol in sanitizing hand gel. I don't think I want to put alcohol on my jelly plate. Not sure I agree with that. You can give it a light soapy wash if you wish. Let it fully dry before you put it away in storage again. Don't try and dry it with a cloth because you'll end up with fibres all over it, as far as with my experience, let's put it that way. Right, where am I up to? Let's have a look. Okay, right, I've got this one that sat on the top, really like that. That needs a punch of something. And oh, there's two there. Oh, there's the other one I really liked. I think I'm just going to go in and I'm going to use that really big mandala stamp that I had. I'm sure I'm saying that word wrong, by the way. I keep calling it a mandala. I'm sure I'm just pronouncing it incorrectly. I'm not the best with knowing how to pronounce things unless someone's actually said it to me. And for some reason I have a problem with that one. I'm just using my braid to make sure it's fully in contact with what's below. Now I really love this one. I love the vibrancy of this. Now I was going to reach for black. I have this colour which I truly love. What is this? Jade green. So I think we're going to go with jade green. The goober off there. A little bit of that over here. I can see I'm going to be using jade green on other things too, because that's probably a little bit much, but I'm okay with that. Right, and I am pressing when I use a stencil, but not hugely. And I'm pressing because I want the paint to go down into the apertures that I cut into the stencil. Because if you don't press, then you're going to get a really light impression of it. It's probably not going to work for you. Right, and I'm probably going to try and get two out of this, in that I'm going to try and do a pull, and then I might just see whether I can take the paint off here and add it to the jelly mat as it is. Right, that's come off. Let's get this immediately on there to hopefully capture this. Am I worried it's centered? No, there's no hope in heck I'm going to center anything when it comes to... I can't look down on my jelly plate because the camera's in the way. Right, the beeper's about to go, so I'm turning the timer off at this point, guys. Yay, that's exactly what I wanted. That one is done. There's no problem. That's done. That's finished. Yay. Right. I want to see whether I can just... Actually, I wonder whether I can get a ghost off that. See if I can pull anything up onto this one. I'm not sure I'm going to, because that was a really thin layer of paint. If it's a background thing, I'm okay with that. Oh, I did manage to get some off it. I'm calling that one done as well. So, right. This feels dry to me, but you never know. I'm going to put this over, and I know we're going to have almost a ghost of the previous one and this one on the same plate, but we'll see what we can come up with. I do love this stencil. I think I bought this on eBay. I need to have a look and see whether I can find any more 12 by 12s. Okay, we did get a ghost of that on there. I need to find something really pale. Maybe this one. Okay. I've got two stuck there. I'm not sure how much I'm going to be able to get off. It should be the opposite image of the one we had, but as I said, it is going to give me a double impression because I already had that design on the mat. I think that's a winner. I'm okay with that. I'd quite like... Oh, actually, I wonder whether I can take some of this off here around the edges, just to bring in... Sorry, I'm not sure whether I'm in screen for this one. I'm just trying to put a little bit on the edges just to cover up any white space. or pink spaces I'm seeing. It's quite dark, but I actually quite like it. In the right setting, that would be lovely. I'm going to save that one as well. Right, where am I up to? What have I done? What have I got? As I said, I'm just turning the timer off. So we know we're off the clock at the moment. So it's probably, let's have a look. I think I'm at about 1 hour and 2 minutes. But once I take the front and the end off this, we should be fine. Okay, do I want to do one more if I can do it quickly? Right, I'm just going to put some black on there in some format. Not sure how. I think I might resort to this. Do you remember this? I used it to transfer black lines across. So let's, because I like the fact the dots are on there. I don't really want to cover the dots up. It's just lacking a bit of drama. So we're going back to black. Give this a bit of a coating, and then we're going to call it done for the day, guys. Hopefully this has been an interesting one for you. As I said, I'm no expert, just having a go, enjoying the process, experimenting as I go along with different techniques that I may see others do, or things that you might actually be suggesting to me, to be honest. Right, I quite like that. I remember on one of my other ones I did grid, like graph paper shapes, and I quite like that, so I'm going to redo that on here. See, I like that. It's almost industrial-ish. Actually, that's a thought. Sorry, I had a moment. I have these that I made ages ago, and I said they remind me of screw heads. Or maybe they remind me enough of screw heads to look like rivets or something. Let's put a bit more paint on there. I'm running out of paint. Keep things in threes and it pleases me. Totally unnecessary though. That's just the way my brain is set up. I like things in threes, and by watching other people, I've seen other people like the 3 thing as well. Oh, my paint's drying. But you know what, that's fine. Okay, we're going to call that done. Let's take a quick look at actually what we've achieved. Let's just put a bit of paper over this so that it's not drying on my jelly plate and I'll never get it off. Right, so we had, let's take the jelly plate and move it up a bit so it's out of my way. So we had that one, which I'm quite happy with that and how that did come to the fore. Oh, sorry, upside down behind you under a table. This one, I liked how that came through. That's nice. This one as well. I'm looking at that though, thinking I want something else on it. So I think I'm going to add that to the needs more work pile. But I do like that one. This one I did like. This one was really interesting. I think we rescued that one really well. I do like that. It's really subtle and part of me wants to go in and add more. But actually I need to remember that not everyone likes drama. Everyone likes different things. So I'm leaving that as it is. Did come in with this. This one, remember, is the one with the gold on it, which was just enough for this one. This one's really busy. I wonder. I'm just going to put that to one side a minute. I might have an idea with that. Really love that one. And that was it. Now, I've just had almost an out-of-body experience here. You know me for my moments. I'm wondering, give me a second if I can find it. I'm wondering whether this would look really nice in there. And I think it would. So I'm going to bring that in. And I think I want a nice punch in the gut colour. And if it's going to go anywhere, I think it needs to go into possibly that area because it's going to be light. Right, a punch in the gut colour. Red, No. White. Maybe we'll do it in white. Okay, that wouldn't have been my colour of choice normally, but just going to put a bit. Oh, I forgot that's not a jelly plate anymore, is it? Okay. Just get that on there. I will clean off that edge before I actually put the background on it. I'm going to have to work this quite a lot to get it down into the fine detail of this stencil. A little bit of pressure means that the jelly plate comes up to meet the roller. Let's take that off there really quickly. Take this away because I don't want that around there. Don't want that around there. Right, we said it was going to be that area, didn't we? Right. It's not going to work, it's going to have to be that area. Right. Fingers crossed, guys. Fingers crossed. Me and my indecision, I know, but this just was crying out for something. Okay, that's fine with me. It's giving me a something in the background. I'm not sure it's added to it, but it's added something to it. Okay, right. We are done. I'm going to say goodbye for now. Bye-bye. And I will see you next time. Try now.